Lisa, you haven't had enough of me yet. Everywhere you look, huh? There's that Dory, there's that Barb. All right. Comment, please, as you come rolling in. Love to hear from you. Today, we're doing a fun gift box that looks like a pocketbook. So it's really, really cute. So simple to make. Hi, April. Happy Tuesday. Nice to see everybody. The sun is finally coming out a little bit here in Pennsylvania. It's been really dreary for the last 2 days, so we are liking it. Sun is good. Hi, Deborah. Ah, I got you excited, huh? Well, look, I got them all stacked up here, ready to get out to all my challenge winners. All right, I'm going to get going. It is 1 minute after. Happy Tuesday, everyone. This is Barb Reed, the Wexford Stamper. I'm so glad to be with you today. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I run a blog called the wexfordstamper.blogspot.com, and I have a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to, just the Wexford Stamper, very simple. And today I am excited to bring to you a fun project. I got this idea from Julie DiMatteo, and she made this months ago, and I just pictured it in a more Christmas theme type project. So I held it and waited, and then last month I held a Fun Fold card challenge, and I had some amazing stampers participate, and this is what I'm giving out to them for their participation in the challenge. It was our double fold gatefold card, and this is my Christmas clutch, and it opens up like this. And then what I like about it, it even has a closure here to really keep your goodies in there. And then it closes with a magnetic closure. So it is just beautiful. I loved making these. They're so fun. And I was able to get them made in not a very long time. It doesn't take that long to make. So now I've made them with 2 different kinds of designer series paper. I really don't have any stamping that I'm going to be doing today. So I just want to tell you what other materials I used. I used the Just Jade cardstock for these. And then now for these with the poinsettia on, the red poinsettia, I used paper from the annual catalog. This is in the suite called Flowers for Every Season. This is on page 10 of your annual catalog. And this was a beautiful, beautiful set and suite. And the paper does just what it says. It says flowers for every season. So it had some daisies, it had some sunflowers, but then it had, you can only see a little bit of it there, it had some poinsettia paper. So that was what I used for that. This paper comes in 6x6, so you have enough to easily make one of these little purses. Now, the paper for these, I used something out of the new mini, and it's in the section with the Poinsettia Place Suite. Okay, here is some of the card samples made with this suite. This is on page 14 of your mini, and then here's the gorgeous paper. Okay, and I used the pretty white poinsettias for this one. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take off all these, and these are coming. You people know who you are, you participants. These are coming very shortly. I'll send them out with some of the things that you've ordered, or if you'd like to come and pick them up here at the house, I can make them available. So just let me know. All right, now, as I said, We started out with a piece of just jade paper, okay? And what's nice about this bag is the piece of paper you need for the bag is 8.5 by 11. So it's the size that you have in your standard cardstock. You are also going to need a piece that is 1 inch by 6 inches, and that is going to be for your little handle. If you want a handle, you can always do a clutch purse without a handle. It's really up to you, but I'm going to make mine with the handle. I think that looks so cute. All right, and then I have 2 strips here of designer series paper. Again, I'm using the one from the Poinsettia Place, and these are cut at 1.5 by 4.5 and 2.5 by 4.5. And all these dimensions will be on my blog by the end of the week, hopefully. So let's go ahead and get started. That's really all it takes. Now again, I am going to be using those tiny magnets like I did last week with my little Trimming the Town gift bag. All right, these are available on Amazon, and I will post a link to the Amazon page that I've got them from. All right, they are tiny, tiny little magnets. They are 8 millimeters by 1 millimeter. But they are strong. It's just amazing how strong they are. And they're perfect for paper crafting because they're nice and thin, but you're able to put them under paper and adhere paper over. But they're very strong. They can go through lots of pieces of paper. So that was the other thing I wanted to let you know about. All right, let's go ahead and grab our scoring board and get our little clutch bag on the roll here. Okay, here we go. On the short side, this is the 8.5 inch side. We are going to score at 3/8, so that's just 3 little notches from the left, 3/8, and 1 7/8, so that's 1 little notch before the 2. Then we're going to turn it and do it the exact same thing on the other side of the paper. So that's 3/8, 1 7/8. Okay, so that is the scoring that we need on the short side. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and turn it to the long side. This is the 11 inch side. Okay, now this has a bit of scoring. Remember, all this will be on my blog, so don't worry about writing down. All right, so our first score is at 1 3/4, 2.5, 5 1/4, 6 3/4, 9.5, 10 1/4. Okay, 1 3/4, 2.5, 5 1/4, 6 3/4, 9.5, 10 1/4. All right. Now, one more thing before we finish with our scoring. You're going to notice that one of the ends here, if we look at it in the portrait mode, okay, you're going to notice one end has thinner rectangles while the top end has a thicker rectangle. Okay, so you want to put the wider end at the top. Okay, now we're going to do some partial scoring here. We're going to go to the 1 1/8, and I'm just going to score down to the 3rd score line, the 3rd horizontal score line. Okay, what this is doing is putting the little pleat in the side of your bag so it'll fold nicely. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to score at 7 3/8, and we're just going to score down to the 3rd horizontal score line. Okay, that's everything. That's all our scoring for the day. Okay, now let's go ahead and start folding on our score lines. You don't need to fold on the partial score lines for now. All right, so I'm going to grab my bone folder, and I'm going to crease on all these score lines. We got lots going this way and then not so many the other way. Okay. Hope everybody's having a good day. It's finally a little sunny over here in York. I'm glad of that. It's a little chilly. And you know my husband, he has not turned that heat on yet. We're going to wait it out until we are frozen solid. But you know, the heat isn't on here at the Reed house yet. So it's a little cold today. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the end here. Okay, this is the end that has the two thinner rectangles. Okay, I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to come over to the first score line here. I'm going to turn it over this way. Then my score lines I can feel coming up this way. Okay, I'm going to cut starting on the second. You have a real thin rectangle here along the edge. You're just going to leave that for now. And you're going to come over to the second from the right score line. Okay, and you are going to cut all the way up to the third score line, just like that. Okay, so all the way up to the third score line, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to cut that right off. Okay, and then over here, the same thing. We're going to cut it all the way up and then cut it off. And this is the second score line from the left side. So we're basically making the part that goes in and folds in to the bag. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab my corner rounder and I'm going to round these two edges for this side. Then it helps them slip in a little better. This is a great little tool to have. All right, now we're going to turn it this way. This is the side that has the thicker or wider rectangle. Okay, so now for this side, we are going to we're going to come over to the 1, 2, third. Okay, the third from the right-hand side, and I'm going to go up through 1 horizontal to 2 horizontal, and I'm going to cut that off. Okay, same thing over here, going to come in 3. So you're going to notice these are the same width, top and bottom. This one you had to come in 3 because we have that extra little score line here. Okay, so I'm going to get back on here and I'm going to go up to the second horizontal and then cut that whole piece off. So we're kind of looking at like a cross. All right. Okay, now this is the part that's going to help you put it together. Okay, let me do it this way. Okay, we're going to create the flaps now that are going to fold the box together. Okay, so with the thin rectangle side at the bottom. Okay, I am going to cut up just 1 score line, and then I'm going to cut this off here, this little tiny thin one, just like that, and then I'm going to wedge this to make this my little flap. Okay, you want to keep that thin piece there for the top part of the box. Okay, so I'll do it over here again. I'm going to cut up this score line here, just 1. Then I'm going to cut this little section off, just up to the same spot. And then I'm going to go ahead and wedge this a little bit because that's going to be going inside the clutch. All right, so this is the final look at the template. Now these two little ends are going to help adhere the box together. But that's what it looks like when we're finished cutting. Last thing I want to do is go ahead and do some corner rounding on the other end. Just like I did on this end here is going to go inside the box. This flap is going to flap over the front, so we want to have it to have a nice rounded edge as well. All right, so right there, I'll let that sit there for a minute. That is what your template should look like once you are finished cutting. Okay, let me know if there's any questions. All right. Looks good so far. All right, now we're going to fold in these two little tabs. Now, normally I would put my paper on now, but because we're using the magnets, we can't do that till later, and I'll show you why. All right, I'm not going to put on the DSP until it's put together. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some of the Tombow on both of these tabs. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just bring the bottom up, going to fold in the tab, and it's going to line up and adhere so that the fold from the tab is lined up directly along the side of that panel. This is the bottom of the box. Okay, let's turn it the other side, fold it in, and it comes right behind this panel, which is going to be the bottom of our purse. Okay, you can see how it's coming together now. These two little ones are going to help hold it together there. Okay, so once you have those two tabs secured, okay, now we're going to focus our attention on those smaller panels. And I'm just going to put a line of glue on each one. Okay, and we're going to fold up this section here and make sure it's lining up along the side here on both sides. I like to get my hand kind of inside and press a little bit. You want the fold from the tab along the edge to line up with the side of your front panel. This is going to be the front of your purse. Okay, we don't need to bother with any of the pleats yet. That will come in a moment. Now let's turn it this way. I'll do the same thing. Line it up with the front panel. And you want to take a little moment and push it down and hold it a little bit. The Tombow works wonders. All right, now you can go ahead and push your sides in. I'm going to fold these back so you can see. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just take my fingers and push the sides in. Okay, you don't have to worry about scoring, extra creasing. They really kind of take care of themselves. Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to put that front flap inside. Okay, everybody all right so far? Okay, so now all we need to do, it flaps over to the front and it's done. All right, but before we do that, remember, we're going to need to put our DSP on and use our magnets. All right, let me grab the DSP. Okay, this piece again was 2.5 by 4 3/4. Okay, that's going to go right there. But before I lay that down, I want to put my magnet on. Now you want to make sure your magnet's not so low that your flap is going to won't reach it. So I typically put it about 1.5 inches from the top. So here are my magnets. And I'm just going to grab one of them and put one aside. I'm going to take a glue dot. Put my magnet down on the glue dot, then pick it up off there. And now I'm going to place it in the center. I mean, you want to center it this way, and then I put it right about there. You just want to make sure it's at a place that it's not too low that the flap will not cover it. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it right there. I like that spot. Okay, so then I'm going to go back and I'm going to put some glue on that piece of designer series paper and apply that to this panel. Now, if you have your magnet too close to the end, sometimes your paper has a little more trouble gluing down over it. But I just kind of take my finger and push it down around the magnet, and the glue will take to it very well. So there is the front, okay? And your my magnet is right about there. Now let me show you how easy it is to do the next part. You're going to close your box. Then you're going to let your magnet find the right spot. So all I really had to do was let the magnet find where the other magnet is. That's how strong it is. So if I know the magnet needs to be there, so I'm just going to let it lay. And I'm going to go ahead and take my piece of designer series paper. Before I apply it, I want to go ahead and round just the bottom two corners. But that's what I like about this. If you put your bottom magnet on first, then the top one will find it easily for you. Okay, so now I have my corners rounded on my paper. And I'm going to go ahead and with my Tombow, I'm going to apply to the panel, and then, come on you, I'm just going to lay it right over the magnet. Okay, you want to push down kind of like I did with the other one, just gently, but I kind of go like this around so the paper kind of folds a little bit. Doesn't fold, it just moves and kind of takes the shape of that magnet there. But I like doing it that way because then the magnets are hidden, okay, and nobody knows how the bag closes. So I just open up and then I just let it close, and the magnets take care of themselves. Pretty simple, really not bad. All right, the last thing is my handle. All right, and I'm going to need to bring my scoring board up one more time. And for this, we need to score it at 1 inch on both ends. So I do 1 inch, and then since it's 6 inches long, I'll do 5. 1 and 5. So there is a 1 inch section before the scored part on each end. Okay. April, did you get that scoring board yet? I'm hoping you did. This will be a great one to start with. All right, so this is my handle. And before I put it on, I take my bone folder and I give it a little bit of a rounding, just so the paper knows what you want it to do. Okay, so it's already kind of in its rounded state before you even add it to the bag. All right, then what you do, I took a little bit of Tombow and I put right on that last inch on both sides, just a little bit. Okay, then I'm grabbing my handle Oh, ladies, I'm thinking this should be 3/4. Hold on, I'm gonna cut it. It's 3/4 by 6 inches because it is way too big for that one. Let me go ahead and cut it quickly with my cutter. There we go. That's better. So we're going to do 3/4 of an inch. See how that lays there much nicer? It was kind of hanging over the end. 3/4 of an inch. And there you have it. There's your bag. Now you could do some additional embellishing if you want. Something, if you're giving it to somebody as a present for Christmas, you could do a Merry Christmas little sentiment on the front. But it's so easy. And this is a design that you could use for any occasion. but it's just really, really kind of a wow. It's such a simple design, but it really looks very elegant. And you could actually put some paper on the back. It would be the same size as this front panel. If you wanted to go ahead and put a piece of paper on the back as well, that would be a great idea. But that's about it. That is how easy that is. So let me know if you have any questions about that. I'd love to help you out. If this is the first 3D project you've ever made, it's not hard. I'm sure you can do it. And once you get hooked, it's really fun to make the 3D projects. So I hope you enjoyed this and you're inspired to try some 3D projects on your own. On Thursday, we will be making another gift for Christmas, and this gift involves coffee. So tune in on Thursday to see another cute little coffee gift that we're going to put together for a great holiday treat for those who are your coworkers or perhaps your friends. So join me again on Thursday at 3, and we'll be making some more great 3D projects. Take care. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.